The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McRae, Britt Johnson, and Newy Scruggs.
Here we are on the Players Lounge. It is a Wednesday. The most intense practice day of the week is the Cowboys. Well, was it Thursday?
It's Thursday.
Yeah.
Usually it's Wednesday.
Right.
Today
So
they just had a mock
Like
run.
a walkthrough.
Run
Drive-through.
Yes. So we move it back because Jerry
switch it
World's
up.
home opener is on a Monday.
Ooh.
All right, Players Lounge brought to you by Hotels.com. You know the crew. Number 42, Barry Church.
the original.
The Toledo Rocket. Britt Johnson, the newest member of the show. And the survivor himself, the LSU
Hold on.
Bayou Bengal Tiger, Danny McRae.
The
It's
Black
game day.
Survivor. All right.
Survivor El Negro.
It does. It's just quick. It actually does feel like a game day. It's crazy because it feels like game day, but it's something I already played. Like I woke up this
Like you know
morning.
the results.
Yeah, I'm like first day
one
of
that knows
school.
the
I'm
results.
hype. I got my TV shirt. TV ready. Go get my breakfast. I feel like I'm finna go pull up to the stadium.
Is there going to be a Garrett vision today? Like, hold on, man. We don't like this.
So listen, knowing you, I'm sure you'll find something.
The Thursday episode of the show will be very interesting. Thursday show will be very interesting. And by the way, I'm Newy Scruggs, longtime Cowboys reporter. So 45 minutes, a whole lot to get to. Second segment, we're going to dive all into Survivor as it airs tonight on CBS, locally here, Dallas-Fort Worth, 7 o'clock. You can catch it on Channel 11. The Cowboys getting ready to face the Eagles. And, oh, by the way, the hits just keep on coming. Dorance Armstrong, who started last week with a high ankle sprain. So you're hoping that Randy Gregory is off the COVID list for this game. It's expected to be. He gets back at a defensive end spot. So no Dorance Armstrong. Tank Lawrence got a broken foot. This is the question. Do you put Micah Parsons back at defensive end? Or, as we spoke about yesterday, you've got Jalen Hurts, a quarterback who's very mobile. He's the leading rusher. Is it better to have Parsons at linebacker?
Well, I didn't want it to happen, man. But with this Dorance Armstrong ankle injury, I'm not sure how effective he'll be out there in containing Jalen Hurts. And we all know if Hurts gets outside the pocket, that's when he becomes his best. He's a dual threat quarterback. And if he gets out of that pocket, he's able to extend plays. He got the receivers out there, Reagor, the first round guy, Smith. So he got the receivers to extend plays and launch the ball deep. So we got to keep him in this pocket. And look, I know I was big on putting Parsons back to linebacker because I believe in his sideline speed and his playmaking ability and coverage and stopping the run. But without Dorance Armstrong being there, I think you're kind of forced to put him back at that defensive end position because I don't know if Azura Kamara can do it, Bradley and I don't know if those guys can do it. I know we'll have Gregory back on the left side, and I'm not worried about him. I know he's going to come out flying. But that other side, you got to have a strong guy on that other side to be able to contain him, or he's just going to roll out to that side each and every time. I hate to say it, but I think they're going to have to move Parsons back to defensive end, and hopefully we get that same type of intensity that we had that Chargers game. Just don't do that up and under move because Hurts is going to take advantage of that all day. We got to keep this guy contained, and I think Parsons might be our best answer.
Yeah, listen, as I'm sitting here, and we did have somebody kind of predict that something may go wrong and that you might have to leave Parsons at defensive end. I'm still of the mindset that I'd like to see him play more linebacker than defensive end. But thankfully, my man DQ has another 42 back there who we can use as a spy if we need to. So if you got if 42 if Keanu Neal can get out there and be what we expect Parsons to be, and then we can move Parsons down to the end position, I'm okay with that. All right. But like you said, it's going to be a totally different game when Parsons has to come off the edge, play the zone read, and then also worry about not having to do the up and under. And a lot of those defensive ends, man, they work their entire life on figuring out how to keep contained and also rush at the same time. Rush and contain. And that's something that he hadn't done since high school. So, hopefully Dan Quinn's coaching them up and has them ready. But I still would like to see him start at linebacker, and if things start to go a little wrong, then move him around a little bit.
Bucky Brooks was on the break today, and he said the best way to neutralize Jalen Hurts was make him play from the pocket.
That's it.
So based on what Bucky said, should you put Parsons at linebacker? And then maybe you go with Kamara, Bradley, and I. You just kind of go with a rotation of guys at the other defensive end spot opposite Randy Gregory.
Look, go ahead, Dave, man.
Yeah, listen, to be honest, I think all that always sounds really, really good to make somebody play from the pocket. But when you got guys out there rushing and you got a guy that's savvy and as creative as Jalen Hurts, it's very, very hard to say, all right, as long as we keep these guys around him and make sure that we don't rush past him, that he's not going to make a play. The man can still throw. He can still, even if you get the ends rushing a little bit too far past him, that still opens up a big gap.
And I forgot about Terrell Basham.
And Terrell Basham as well.
Bash.
And that's the thing, though, with Hurts, like you just mentioned, it is not all about just, making sure you stay outside. You got to make sure you're level with this guy, too, because if you rush right past him, you're just opening up that further gap for him to step up and either throw the ball down the field or take off and run. So there's definitely different variables to containing a guy like Hurts. And this is a whole new monster when you talk about read and the what is that, RPOs. It's a whole different type of animal. So, last week Parsons didn't really have to deal with that. It was more of a drop back quarterback. He has some legs to him, but he's not really that RPO where he plays from the pocket. This is a whole different type of animal when you talk about a dual threat quarterback, run and play or RPOs, and they're keying on Parsons. If he's going to dive and take that dive at Miles Sanders and Hurts going to go on the outside, or is he going to stick with Hurts and they hand it right off? So it's a whole different beast, and that's a lot to put on a rookie's plate. I know he's been great at middle linebacker. I know he's been productive at the defensive end position, but that's a whole lot to put on a rookie to go out there and say, all right, we need you to shut this down tonight because we don't have anybody else. That's a lot of pressure to put on him.
I think he can handle the pressure. He showed last week that he was amazing, and he didn't come into that position until Thursday. So this week he has a whole full week because really they don't start practice till tomorrow, and I think that he'll be able to handle it at defensive end. This is going to be his second week doing it, and I personally don't trust our secondary as much to not have Micah Parsons stop it at the beginning. Like, I don't want Jalen to get through and then have so much time to throw the ball and get it to one of his receivers or anything like that. I just want him to stop. Micah Parsons to stop it now. I think he's obviously the best guy on defense at this point. And I think you stop it at the beginning of the play, not wait till he has time to do all of this other stuff.
Yeah, and listen, I would love for him to.
I have too much trust in him.
But like Church said, he won't be going up against a backup. It'll be a whole different ball game out there, and I really think that the zone read is going to be tough for him. And it's just me. I want to see him play back there and be able to spy on Jalen Hurts, so he's not able to get around either edge. Hopefully we see that, but I know for sure he's going to be playing some defensive end.
Okay, so let me add this component in here. So we just keep talking about the Cowboys and defensive players and just what seems to be just this rash of injuries and issues. Carlos Watkins, defensive tackle. So do you another reason to put Parsons at linebacker is, hey man, if they want to start just trying to run up that middle, if they start trying to go up there, you need some help there. So I'm just thinking, just listening to you two. You go with Gregory and Basham at your ends, and you utilize Parsons. DQ just mixes him up wherever he mixes him up to make the Eagles' offensive line think.
Yeah.
And you kind of go from there.
Yeah, you can't I don't want him to just either be at defensive end or be at middle linebacker. I'd love to see them mix him around like you just said. Maybe throw some packages where he's at defensive end. Because, look, we got to move this guy around. I think he's a positionless guy, and I consider him a defensive weapon more than just a specific DN or middle linebacker because he can do all types of things out there. So, DQ, I'll give the benefit out to my boy Danny. He seems like he's a defensive genius so far, so I'm sure he'll put the guys in the right position. But like you mentioned, Nui, with that Carlos Watkins, we were already shorthanded at defensive tackle. Neville Gallimore, where's Tristan Hill? Is he going to come back anytime soon? I mean, what is going on here?
Gator roll.
Gator roll. I mean, this defensive line right now is hurting. And look, Neville Gallimore, he ain't coming back this week. Carlos Watkins down. We need these guys to step up, so I got to have packages for my boy out there just to use him as a weapon to get something after Hurts or something after this run game because we're going to need it this Monday.
Yeah, we're gonna need it, but I got faith in DQ. He's gonna make it work. Like
2 weeks in a row,
we manufactured that pressure. 3 weeks in a row. Okay, they put up a lot of passing yards on us in week 1, but we went out there and got 4 turnovers. That's better than we had done in a long time.
Very long time.
He's gonna find a way to manufacture some pressure, manufacture some stunts, make sure he's in those A and B gaps, and confuse Jalen a little bit. And I think that's what we need.
Where do you think we need to get the most pressure from? You know how we go against Tom Brady? They always say you got to get that interior pressure to mess him up and confuse him. Where do you think we need to get this pressure? Or where do you think we need to go or focus on to go against a guy like Hurts?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's going to come from like confusing him, really. Okay. Not specifically outside rush or inside rush. You have to make him not know where the blitz is coming from, right? So if you're rushing, right, you want him to think it's coming from the right. Right, and then switch that thing over to the left and have him come back.
Disguise.
So you want to make sure that you're disguising and confusing him, just like we did Justin Herbert. So to make him make those mistakes. So I don't think it's like a specific location. I just think we have to be out there and outsmart this guy on defense.
Most of Hurts' throws are going to come from the right, throwing to the right. And I just go back to what Bucky Brooks said. I think it's just a really good point. I got Hurts on my fantasy team, so you start to watch these games when these guys are on your fantasy team, and it's when he's out of that pocket, he's got options that he's able to do some stuff. He's basically running the college offense here, which is a smart job by the Eagles. What do you do best? Let's do what you do best. And I just think the biggest thing, just contain him. Yeah. Just contain him within that pocket. You can get to the outside, you can find Devontae Smith a little bit, then that the yards after the catch, that's when you get killed.
That's when you get ate up.
Killed.
And they're gonna have to this secondary, they're gonna have to do a great job of plastering. Now when plastering, you know what I'm talking about, D-Mac, is when you're in the zone, things start to break down, receivers start turning and going this way, going that way, ad-libbing to the route. That's what our secondary is gonna have to do a great job of just plastering, locking up whoever's in your zone. That's what the 49ers did. They did a great job of plastering when Hurts was able to get out and extend the play a little bit. Their corners, their safeties were able to lock down. And even if he did extend the play, throw it as an incomplete pass, they made things hard for Hurts out there. And like you said, we're going to have to add that disguise to it. But most importantly, the secondary is going to have to plaster when we're in zone coverages.
I'll tell you this about the secondary. Listen, they better enjoy this game. This probably be one of the best matchups that they have as far as being able to cover some of these receivers. All right, the first week you go up against Tom Brady and his gang with Godwin and Mike Evans and Gronk. The next week you face Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, who've been balling this season. And now you get to go against a rookie and then Jalen Reagor, who hasn't really proven himself for an entire season, right? So this is the game where you go in and you establish your dominance as a defensive secondary. This is where you start to creep up into that top 10 by not allowing 400 and 500 yards in a game.
You just forgot about Antonio Brown? That's what he did.
No.
You didn't mention Antonio Brown.
He's part of Tom Brady's gang.
He's on the COVID list, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. Antonio Brown?
Yeah, I did not see that.
He's got put. I know.
I'll tell you what he's not on, my fantasy team.
We're okay because I already put him on the bench. Well, actually, I got an IR spot. I put him on an IR spot, and we bumped up Cortland Sutton.
That's right. He's starting this week for me instead of James Robinson because James Robinson has been letting me down.
What happened to him?
I got him on my. I got Robinson too, right on the bench.
I got Cortland Sutton starting.
Same here.
Straight killing me. Urban Meyer just hurting the game, man. Somebody tell Urban Meyer what to do.
He's gonna go back to college soon. He's on health notice.
He's going to Fresno State next.
He's on health notice now. Things start getting shaky. Not feeling too good.
That Fred Sanford, Elizabeth.
I need time off. Man. Time off turned into that college job.
Well, I don't know, man. He's making $14 million. So, if I'm Urban Meyer, you're firing me. Mm-hmm. I'm not walking away from that. Fire me. You don't like me? Fire.
I feel like he's one of them guys that cares more about legacy.
Absolutely.
Than the bread. I feel like look, man, I'm one of the greatest coaches of all time. I can't take an L nowhere. I feel like he's one of those type guys, man.
But if you quit, it's not like he's going to go take the SC job. He's not going to do that. So if he quits,
he's going to take 2 years off.
He's going to go back to the booth. He's going to go back to the booth for a little bit.
But if you're pulling $14 million a year, I'm sorry. I don't care about legacy. I want my straight cash.
That's you.
I want my money.
That's you, though.
Would Ohio State take Urban Meyer back?
What?
Would Ohio State take Urban Meyer back?
That situation wasn't his fault, but he obviously, as the head coach, had to take, whatever, and took his little year off after. I think so. I think that's where his legacy lies, is with Ohio State more than anything.
So
I think so.
So we firing Ryan Day?
He on his way out.
He's taking another L. Ohio State's not looking too hot right now.
Looking a little rough.
He's taking another L.
Once them Urban Meyer recruits start getting up out of there, it start to look a little different.
Well, you guys got no heart, man. Ryan Day has done a good job.
Hey, man, that's let me tell you something. And I was a Les Miles guy, okay? Les Miles recruited me. But I tell you what, when the talent started to change from guys that Nick Saban had recruited to guys that Les Miles was bringing in there, you saw a little downfall come with LSU. All right, we still made some plays, but we had some true talent when I first got there. All right, so Urban Meyer's gone, Ryan Day's taking over, and all of a sudden these dudes start looking like they look average.
Wait. Didn't Ohio State play for the national championship last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we talking about pushing a dude out to bring in Urban Meyer?
They talking about getting Ogeron up out of there. That was 2 years ago. He had the best. He had the best. He had the best football team ever in the history of college football.
Now, I go to my boy Chris Landry on this, LandryFootball.com. Chris used to be a coach at LSU, and he said forever and a day, Ed Ogeron is a good recruiter. And he believes he got lucky because he had Joe Burrow, and that Joe Burrow was out there basically. Joe Burrow was a dude out here getting people to practice like they were following Joe Burrow, and he said they got Joe Brady, and he said it was the coaches in the perfect storm, kind of like what Gene Chizik. Let me finish. Gene Chizik and Cam Newton, and that Ogeron under the new AD Scott Woodward ain't gonna last if he has 7 wins or less.
I just think that's crazy, right? So he put the right guys around him, right? He got Joe Burrow to transfer in from Ohio State. He did that, right? Oh, Joe Burrow's at Ohio State riding the pine, and my man Ogeron went and got him. He went to the Saints and got Joe Brady, who was not an offensive coordinator. He was like a assistant coach up there, right? And then he got him to come in there. He had Dave Arandez on defense. He surrounded himself kind of like, somebody that's here with the Cowboys with the right type of guys to get them where they needed to go. And what is wrong with that?
And there's nothing.
They all got head coaching jobs.
Right,
I mean, Joe Brady's offensive coordinator for the Panthers.
And who did he bring in last year?
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
Okay, and what happened to Bo Pelini?
It's Ryan Day. That's
so
Ryan Day's on his way to the Ogeron train, man, if that's the case.
I'm just trying to tell you, your boy Coach O's leash is a lot shorter. Ryan Day's leash is very long.
I will say this: the last time Bo Pelini was coaching at LSU, he was winning the national championship. So I mean, whatever it seemed like, people thought it was going to work out for him.
Does he seem testy when we went there on LSU?
Always
testy, a little testy.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna defend mine. You make sure you defend UNC Pembroke like that, okay?
Hey,
Pembroke,
baby. We won, by the way.
Okay, hold it down.
Celebrate that 1 week, that one dub, baby.
That dub, boy, 2-0 in that conference.
Hey, Newey.
Who's next?
Hey, Newey.
Chris Bean, I don't want to hear it from you, Chris Bean.
No.
My man cutting everybody off the hair.
You getting cut.
There's one directional college playing Pembroke next week. Don't worry about that. But didn't LSU have Linehan was there last year?
Ooh.
Yeah, that was bad. I don't know why we did that.
And who brought him there?
That was O.
Okay.
Yeah, people make mistakes. I mean, shit, who brought Nolan in this month? Nolan was here last year. Listen, you bought into Big Mike, so I got a bunch of leeway. You bought into Big Mike last year.
We're going to take a break as Danny tries to rationalize the downfall of Coach O, which will either be this year or next year. Go Tigers. Go Tigers. Been fired by the Tigers. So this year, next year, Coach O, the Coach O era will end. When we come back, we're going to talk about Danny's on TV tonight. Survivor. Got his hair done. We're going to see the whole shirt. That's all about Danny next right here on the Players Lounge on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys, and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Get the ultimate fan experience for the ultimate Cowboys fan. Join Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, starting at just $20. Join now and get your fan pack, exclusive benefits, and more. Visit DallasCowboys.com/United for details and join today.
All right, you are in the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. That is Britt Johnson, the newest member of the show. The two players who the Players Lounge is named for, Danny McRae and Barry Church, former free agents who made the team as safeties. And tonight, cue up the Phil Collins music. It is Survivor.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Survivor Season 41, baby.
Let's
41.
see that shirt.
41, yeah.
What's that saying?
Hashtag Team Danny.
So that's Team Danny out here, man.
Listen, that's my tribe colors. My tribe colors right here at the bottom. And then Survivor 41, man. It's gonna get real tonight. You know, DM me if you want to purchase a shirt.
Okay. Sir.
Yes.
And look, understand, there's only certain things we can ask Danny. He cannot give details away here. There's a tight restrictions on him being a cast member about what you can and cannot say. We don't want to mess with any of that. We want to make sure we protect that as they go through the show. But the location for this year's Survivor is
beautiful Fiji.
Ooh,
yeah, we were
the French Polynesian.
Yeah, we were out there in Fiji, and the truth is, before I went out there, if you showed me a map, I would not be able to point that thing out. Okay, but Fiji is a very beautiful place. A lot of beautiful islands. Water's blue, weather's great.
Was it hot?
Except it was hot, so it's beautiful as you want it to be, except when you out there, sleeping on bamboo and in the sand out there with the crabs and the spiders.
Now, would you want to go out there again now that you have done Survivor and had a have the actual resort experience of it? Or are you done with Fiji?
Listen, it's a love-hate thing with Fiji, okay? If somebody invited me to go, I would. But if you asked me where I wanted to go, I would not say Fiji. Just because, I've seen it, right? There's other places to go. It's a beautiful place, beautiful people. But I got some other places on my list that I'd like to try out.
Such as?
Back to Ibiza.
Hey.
I want to do Dubai. I want to do Phuket, Thailand as well.
Oh, I went there. If you need any advice.
But it was nice?
Amazing. And you live like a king or queen there because it's so cheap. Drinks, 50 cents, American dollars. The place we stayed was a giant, beautiful place and paid $300 a night for a house, chef every day.
Be at the top of my list now.
Go to
Survivor Phuket.
Yes.
Was that before or after the typhoon hit over there in Thailand?
What year did it hit?
I can't remember. I just remember a couple of years. It was.
I went 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, so that was probably after. But I just remember. I remember just seeing the video of the devastation of, and people were talking about just what a beautiful place it was, and just how cheap, once again, how cheaply you could go over there, and then just to see that when that typhoon hit, it's like, man, you hated it because it was a beautiful. All the different pictures I had seen from people who had a great time over there.
It's amazing. So. I know, Barry likes to call you the Black Survivor, but there are actually 5 other black people that were on the show this season. This is the most diverse season of Survivor. Tell us about that.
Yes. So CBS has mandated for their reality TV shows that 50% of each cast, they have to be people of color. So not only did we have 5 black people on the show, we had people from Toronto on the show. We had the LGBTQ community on the show. We had Asians on the show. Like, it's literally representation from almost everybody in America. So it looks more like what America is versus what it had looked like in the past.
So you're just pushing your liberal agenda on the show.
No, I'm not pushing a liberal
Look at Dewey over there.
But see, this is the reason why somebody like Nate would say, "Are you talking about Naked and Afraid?" Because when you think of Survivor, you don't really think of black people watching it like that because they don't usually get to see themselves that much on the show, right? So now you have 5 different individuals who African American may be able to relate with, right? So then now you pull in a whole new crowd, and it's an amazing game. So I'm actually excited for the new crowd that we're going to have watching the show.
Yeah, you're gonna have tons of new fans.
Yeah, I'm super hyped.
Danny might big league us and be like, "I'm too cool for y'all."
No, I'm just me.
I ain't gonna hear the end of that.
I'd never be like church. I'd never be like church.
Okay.
Take church service, take me to church, hit sticks.
And I'm still in this thing. Man. Day in and day out. I'm still in this thing.
I'm not going to be there next week. I'm on vacation.
I'm on assignment, man. Hey, I'm on assignment. All right?
Yes. And we covered that well. I don't know how many shows it was, but I always would say Danny was on assignment. Make sure we include you there. And I always said on assignment. I didn't know, and I didn't ask.
This is true.
I didn't ask.
This is true, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you didn't make me lie to you. I don't want to lie.
And then later on, I found out, and I just shut up. But I didn't do that. So, what did you learn about television production, having done the show Survivor?
I learned that there's a lot more that goes into the show than what you see on camera, which is probably as much as I can say about it. There's a lot of work that goes into it. A lot of people are super dedicated to making sure that the best product is shown. And I saw some stuff out there that I didn't think I would see.
Now, do you get to see the show before everybody else, or you're going to watch it tonight live with us, and you know any alliances that you might have not noticed on the show, you'll get to see that play out.
Yes, this will be my first time seeing it. I have no idea who was talking trash behind my back. I have no idea what they're going to show me saying, how I'm going to look, none of that. So I'll be seeing it for the first time with everybody else. So that's what I said. I think church is going to have some fun with it, but that's okay.
Hey,
that's okay. That's the risk I took.
Be ready for the tricky editing. That's all
be ready for the tricky editing.
Be ready for the tricky editing. I mean, it's. You two ever done reality?
I have.
You have?
Not anything crazy, but yeah, I've done little stuff. And just being on TV and doing stuff, like I've done the Steve Harvey show a couple times. And so, like, you actually shoot everything, and then they, like, take a little piece of what it is and put it on the show. And I was like, well, I wish they would have let me finish my sentence, because I didn't mean it like that.
What was the editing point on there for you when you were on the Steve Harvey show, where you're like, man, that was a tricky edit right there?
Well, the show was actually, it was about people that had slid into my DMs, and so I was like picking people, that I wanted on the show. And so there was a whole part where I was kind of talking to Steve about why I was going to pick who I was going to pick or whatever, and they didn't show any of that. And like, really, I picked the guy because I was like, oh, well, he loves the Lord like I do, and yada, yada. But then they just showed clips of that guy as like, oh, yeah, like being all like romantic kind of sounding. And so they're like, oh, of course Britt picks this guy. And then this other guy seemed so smart on the show, and I didn't pick him. So they're like, oh, she's shallow. She just picked the cute guy. And I'm like, no, he had a whole gospel part of the show that was cut out. So
the whole show you did, was it you and other people, was it social media people that were trying to?
Yeah, it was, that particular show was just me on that show, but it was, I had 3 bachelors or whatever that came onto the show that had slid into my DMs, and so Steve like vets them to make sure they're not crazy, and so this was like supposed to be a chance for me to like meet them, and then me and Steve did like a Q&A with everybody to see who I was going to pick to go on a date with.
So the story idea for you, because I know you're doing TV work here for DallasCowboys.com, Terrell Basham had his mom go on Steve Harvey, and he was trying to get his get his mom set up with a couple guys, and so it's that air. So maybe you guys can have some conversation.
But wait, There's more. Didn't I hear something about the church family was almost on Family Feud?
What are you talking about? Oh, we were. Well, I wasn't.
Okay.
My mom and her whole family, or my whole family, my grandparents, my grandma, my aunts, it was all the women of my family were on. I forgot about that. They were on Steve Harvey, and they did the whole Family Feud thing. It was pretty dope. Actually. But they destroyed all the evidence because my mom was like, nah, I did not like how I looked on television and the rest of them. So she was like, I destroyed all the evidence. But
well, and on Steve Harvey, they do like your makeup and hair and everything, and they had me looking like crazy, like that, because I don't really wear that much makeup. They had me caked up like I was going to the club, and I'll
tell you what, wasn't no makeup on Survivor.
Raw and uncut.
Listen, and this is for everybody. What you know about the show, and if you ever like watched it and you say, "Oh man, they got like porta potties back there. They probably got some soap, XYZ. They ain't really starving out there." That's a lie. Okay, it ain't none of that.
Would you do it again?
I got to see how this one shows. So maybe.
Well, not even the show part, but just the experience, like having to be out there and you're hungry, you're not getting your 3 meals a day, you're not on your phone. Was that an experience you would go through?
Oh yeah, I would go through that again. I would go through that again. But like I said, I need to see like how the entire show plays out first before I'm like, oh yeah, I put myself through having to watch this type of stuff.
So how did you train to eat? Because I mean, it ain't like you can go to McDonald's, you can go get you a steak over here. Like, so how'd you train yourself knowing that the food was going to be sparse?
Yeah, so it was during quarantine. So the first time I did it, I would like try to eat like just lunch and then try to make it throughout the day and see how that worked. But then when I got the extra year because of quarantine, I would like wake up, make a bowl of oatmeal, put some like bananas, pecans, all that stuff, make a nice bowl of oatmeal, and that would be all I ate. So when we did those workouts and I would do cardio and stuff, all I ate was a bowl of oatmeal. I'd do a workout, then I'll run like 3-4 miles, and then I'll sit there and I'll see like how my mind works, how my body's reacting, right? Because some people get hangry, and I'm one of them people.
Did you start developing that? Like,
no, I already knew I was hangry. All right, I was trying to make sure that I knew how to, like, I was aware that I was getting to that point, and then how to manage it without like rubbing somebody the wrong way, getting upset with the wife because this time she's pregnant, so and I think that helped me a lot.
Okay. Well, how was he in the workouts then? Since you were working out with him,
I ain't see no difference at all.
I was leading them things.
Yeah, he was leading them things. I was leading Coach Danny out here.
So Survivor 41 tonight locally in Dallas-Fort Worth, CBS 11. Danny McRae is on there. 13 episodes.
I'm not sure, because this is going to be a different season just because with COVID and all that. Okay. I think it may be starting a little later, so I'm not really sure, but I think maybe the last episode will probably be sometime in December.
Okay. Well, we are excited, and we'll be checking it out, and easily a segment that we have tomorrow.
That'll take up the whole thing.
Let's take a break. Let's come back. Amari Cooper dealing with a rib injury. How do we look at Dak Prescott after 2 games? Terrence Steele spoke today to the media. Let's touch on a couple Cowboy items as they get ready to face the Eagles in the home opener at Jerry World Monday night. This is the Players Lounge on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Organic pumpkin smoothies are back at Smoothie King with at least 13 grams of protein each and 5 options to choose from. It's easy to find a favorite to help you reach your goals, like the new Keto Champ Pumpkin, packed with a whopping 23 grams of protein and 9 net carbs. It's a quick and nutritious meal on the go. So order online or through the app for pickup or delivery. And power up with pumpkin and protein. Official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Smoothie King. Rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Stay in the know on all things Dallas Cowboys. Sign up for email notifications for exclusive offers, Cowboys events, and so much more. Sign up via email at dallascowboys.com/subscribe.
Excellent work, Britt Johnson. Danny McRae, the survivor, gave us a whole lot more information than we probably needed to know during the break.
Off camera.
Barry Church. Barry Church. When next time you go out, don't try to be Danny on vacation.
Yeah, I ain't gonna worry about that one.
The show is real. That's all you need to know. All right? There ain't nothing out there to save you. All right? You're on your own.
Survivor tonight, CBS 11 locally. Danny McRae's a part of the cast. Let's jump back into the Cowboys. Amari Cooper dealing with ribs. Jerry Jones on Tuesday would not reveal whether or not he thought Amari Cooper was going to play. So because you were former players, let me simply ask you this. What goes into taking a shot if you've got rib issues in terms of trying to play? And Amari Cooper, we don't know if he'll be there Monday or not, but just what does that entail? Because, fans all think, oh, man, just go ahead and get a quick shot. Go ahead, handle it.
You want me to start this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me tell you something. So my rookie year, I had a high ankle sprain, and then while I had the high ankle sprain, I would get it shot up before each game, probably for like the last 6 games.
Yep.
The needle, if you get the camera, the needle is about that long, all right? And when they stuck it into my ankle, they had to move it around. So it's not just like getting a vaccine shot or something. They stick that long needle in there, they wiggle it around, super painful, and then that whole area goes numb.
Blank.
Right? It goes super numb. It's super painful, and I had gotten so many at that time that by the time we got to the final game of the season, my second year, we were 8-8. I think we were playing the Giants, and if we win, we go to the playoffs. And Jason Garrett walked back, and Britt was with me, and he was like, Jason, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep doing it. Because at that point, I couldn't walk. I did it for like 6 weeks. So it's serious risk that goes into it. It's not an easy decision to make. And it's super painful. It's not just go back there and get a shot. So, more power to the players that are actually able to go out there and get that done.
Yeah, it's a terrible experience. I did something similar when I did my ankle. I just did it one time because that was enough pain for me to be like, nah, I can't do this no more. Like Danny said, they move that thing around, so you hitting nerves and all types of stuff, and eventually it goes numb, so you feel like, oh, I'm good now. So you go out there, you play your thing, you do great. That next day you might not feel it as much, but that following day, 2 days after the game, it hurts like hell, and you just want to just give up football for life after that. So it's a tough thing to do. And now in Amari's case, if I'm him, I'm not doing it. I'm saying, look, man, y'all, I'm not doing it, all right? Because I'm going out there, I'm making the big bucks. Y'all proved last week with me just getting 2 catches for 16 yards that y'all can go out there and y'all can still be productive without me going out there. So it ain't like the offense is going to go to shambles without Amari Cooper being out there. And so if I'm him, I'm not doing it. But if I'm, an Azora Kamara, or if I'm an undrafted free agent out there who's barely on the team, barely made the team, scraping by barely to get on there, you think about making those type of decisions. I mean, when I was a rookie and I was, barely on the team and my ankle was messed up, I had to make that decision. Do I want to play or risk losing my spot because I didn't go out there getting Wally pipped? So it's all dependent on where you're at. But in Amari's situation, look, you got the big bucks. You're a solidified guy. I'm not taking it.
So you're the head coach of the team. Put yourself in. You're the head coach of the team. You walk to the trainers. The trainers say, "Yeah, he'll be okay. He take the shot. He'll be able to make it through the game." So now you go talk to Amari. You say, "Hey, man, this is what the trainer said." Okay. So you got to
you want him to be.
I'm saying, but you're the head coach though. So how do you feel now when he says, "Nah, I'm good"?
You gotta respect it. Because you can't just cut the guy. I mean, he still got guaranteed bucks on the board. So I mean, you gotta respect it. You can't force him to put a needle up in his body like that.
We've been talking about who's the number one guy. Is it Amari? Is it CD? This would solidify that it's going to be CD. Then to me, in that case, if I'm like a coach and he doesn't want to do it, because we've had. I mean, Drew Brees came out earlier this year and said that he had over 11 broken ribs, and he always played. He never would miss a game. Deshaun Watson had the same situation, played the whole season with broken ribs, and these are like quarterbacks. And granted, yes, Amari said they said that this had happened in the first game, and that's why he kind of didn't play as well the second game. And then obviously towards the end of the second game, we saw he was very hurt. And so it's like, does he even play this third game? But yeah, I think you still suit up. Obviously, like, just give me like less reps, figure something out. But I still play. And then I get the other side of it, where you don't want to have the Tyrod Taylor situation come, where you get your lungs, stabbed on accident and are punctured. So I mean, I get both sides, but I think in the business of football, you just have to suit up and
that's the thing. It's a business.
Yeah.
So when you go out there and you hurt yourself even further, the organization gonna be like, oh man, on up to the next one. So I mean,
are you going to hurt yourself further from a bruised rib?
Yeah, if you break them things.
Listen,
but they've all played with broken ribs.
Who's they all?
The guys I mentioned, Drew Brees and Deshaun Watson, their ribs were actually broken. This is just a bruise. So if they could play with broken ribs, just I'm saying from the business.
I would touch quarterback.
Yeah, you can just fall down.
And I will say then everybody is different, right? So Witten can play with a bruised sternum or broken sternum, and then it may affect somebody else a different way. I will say this about Amari Cooper. All right, if you're hurt, just don't play, because we know what you put out there, you know what I'm saying, when you injured, and then weeks later we have to find out. Just like, he's been dealing with this since week 1, and then go out there week 2 and it's almost invisible. Right. You know what I'm saying? So just heal it up so we don't have this lingering throughout the whole season. I did say that I believe that CeeDee Lamb will eventually be the number one guy. I don't know if this solidifies it, but this is going to give him an opportunity to make those plays.
So you played for the Cowboys, you went to the Jags, you played for the Cowboys, you went to the Bears, came back to the Cowboys. Are there any situations that you can recall where there was a player like, nah, I don't want to take that shot. I'm just going to sit this one out. And were there any ramifications for that particular play? You don't have to give me a name.
I'm going to give you a name. Because I don't know specifically if it was about taking shots or not. But when I say this man, Jay Cutler, we had no idea if he was coming out there to play. If he was going to be ready, if he really wanted to be out there or not, just based on his demeanor and his availability. I had no idea. So, yes, I did have one. And we went 5-11. And we had no idea when he was going to be out there, how he was going to play. And I brought my ass back to Dallas after that. And I played for a guy who broke his collarbone and did everything he can to get back in the game, and then got out there and got hurt again. But he put it all on the line to make sure he was out there for his team. As a matter of fact, he said, "What are y'all going to do when I get back? Win it all." Now, we didn't do it because he went out there and got hurt again, but that's the type of guy that I enjoy playing for.
When your play falls, Dave, let me ask you this. If you're hurt and you go out there, you do it all for the team, you're doing all this, you're going out there and playing hurt. When you go out there, let's just say your play slips for the next 4 or 5 games because of the injury. Our organization's going to look at you like, oh, man, he's hurt. That's the only reason that his play is slipping. Or they're going to be like, oh, man, this dude can't get it done. Let me go ahead and bring in the next guy that can get it done.
I think in Amari's case,
well, Amari does,
I was going to say, his case is a little different because this is kind of a consistent thing. So last year he's hurt. He has foot surgery. He comes back this year. He gets hurt in the first game, and then now his availability is in question. And now we found out that he had been hurt in week 2. Messed up your fantasy team.
Yeah, he's still messing mine.
And now we're questioning if he's going to be available for week 3.
His guarantees are up.
After this year, though, right?
The guarantees are up after this year. He's making $20 million, but the guarantees are up. So does that factor into it?
You need to be available, man. And in football is that sport. Sometimes you're just not available. Like Sean Lee, nothing against him because he did everything he possibly could to stay healthy. He spent a lot of money on his body, and he just couldn't stay healthy. It's nothing against the guy as a person. Sometimes football just does that to people. You know what I'm saying? And I think right now, we're seeing that with Amari Cooper.
Look at D. Ware towards the end of his Cowboys career. The same thing happened. He's back. He just couldn't stay healthy.
By the way, D. Ware is the list came out for first year. He made it for Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I think his first ballot.
He's on that list.
I
so
think his first ballot
top
for sure.
10 all time in NFL sacks. So good luck to him. Good luck to him. And I loved how you saw the segment on Hard Knocks where you saw Ware and Micah Parsons together.
Yeah.
To me, that just warmed my heart
Right.
watching that right there. It's like, yes.
I guess that's what we should have known.
Even on his Twitter, he's been like calling like, no, Micah Parsons got it. He's going to be good. He continues to cheer him on because I follow him on Twitter and he's always saying something about
That's when
Micah.
we should have known, huh? When we seen Hard Knocks, like, Micah Parsons about to be a beast out here at
Right.
defensive end.
Yeah.
He went over there with 3 vote.
3 vote. That's
3
right.
vote.
3 vote. Out there at Trophy Club. So,
is this a must win though? Like this is a divisional game, and I feel like the NFC East kind of always comes down to the last game of the season, and it's everybody's within 1 or 2 games. So, would this be a game that is a must win for the team?
I would say no. This our old teammate Kwasi Owusu-Ansah called. We might have to get him on the show one day.
Talk to him.
Yeah, he talked to him for sure.
But no, I don't think this is a. Did I answer that? I don't think this is a must win just because it's so early.
The show's over, so we got to go. So go ahead.
Just because it's so early into the season and nothing is really unfolded, right? So I think we need some more time to get into the season to see how these teams are really going to play. It would be great to win it.
So at this point, you would sit Cooper and then figure it out later.
No, I wouldn't sit him.
You would play him as well.
I'm paying him $20 million. He gonna play.
Yeah.
All right, that is the Players Lounge. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Barry Church, Britt Johnson, the Survivor, Danny McRae. Turn your TVs on tonight to see Danny on CBS on season 41 of Survivor. I'm Newey Scruggs, Chris Bean, Willie Boykins. Everybody's a part of the show. We thank you. We'll chat to you 12:30. Okay, 12:30 tomorrow, right here from the SWBC Mortgage Studios here at the Star. Talk to you later.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!